Okay, so when it comes to dating, we really have to soak in that worth, because one, when we have a good, healthy level of self-worth and we know how worthy we are, and we don't have those limiting beliefs about ourselves just, bugging us all the time. I'm not, whatever it is, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not skinny enough. We all think that at one point, probably. When we start to take those limiting beliefs and we know how worthy we are right in this space, we start attracting high quality people. Our vibe starts just attracting more people. There's something about a woman that's confident and knows who she is that is incredibly attractive. And I've worked with thousands of men, and so when I talk to men, even like the most handsome, successful, the man that everybody is like, whoa, why is he single? The one thing that I hear from all men is the most attractive feature in a woman is her confidence. She can walk in a room, she knows who she is. She does not falter on that. She knows her worth, she knows who she is, and she knows what she wants. That's self-confidence, ladies, okay? And that is probably the #1 attractive factor. And this is not someone who's snotty, or it's not someone who's catty. It's someone who is very sure of themselves, knows their self-worth, treats themselves and those around them with respect. That is a highly attractive quality. So here's the thing, just working with thousands of men and women, the most attractive person can walk in a room, but if they lack self-confidence, if they lack friendliness, if they lack just knowing who they are, they're less likely to get approached or even get a date. They might get approached, but they're less likely to get a date in marriage and getting that long-term relationship than the woman or man who walks in the room who's confident, who knows who he is, who treats others with respect, who is friendly. Those are the attraction factors that immediately attract people to each other. And you can tell when someone walks in a room how they carry themselves, how they smile, how they interact with others, what type of energy they're putting off, and other people will flock to that or they will stay away. So that's a huge thing to pay attention to. When you know your self-worth, your energy automatically starts to change and you become more attractive to the people around you. You might not change your hair, your makeup, your clothes, but the energy that you're letting off on the inside is a huge attraction factor to the people around you. And this all begins with self-worth and self-love. This is a huge topic that I love to teach on because it's so important. You have to love yourself first before you teach someone else how to love you. Okay, so you wrote down the affirmation. So I'm going to share a personal story with you guys about this subject. So I had, and I'm just going to share this aha moment I had around this topic, and I had it with myself. And growing up, I always struggled with self-worth. Like I always felt like I wasn't good enough to, I was always seeking love, but never feeling good enough because my biological dad was not very involved with us, and I always, try to become better, try to seek that attention, normally in the wrong ways, because I was trying to seek love and fill myself up with that outside validation that I didn't get as a child. And I realized one day, and I don't even know how, it just like hit me, like how, and I asked myself, how would I love myself if I was an outside person? How would I want that person to love me? So, I felt like I was constantly reaching for that ultimate love and never experiencing the whole thing, like experiencing someone loving me fully. And I was constantly reaching for that and never got it. And then when I had this aha moment, I thought, well, how would I love me in that ultimate love? So I began to just write it down because I was tired of feeling like I was always seeking love in an outside source or an outside validation, instead of just knowing it deep inside that I am enough, I am worthy, I am so loved. So what I did is I just started to journal, and actually I have the journal right here at the page. So I just started to journal how I would love myself, and this is the actual page. And I wrote down everything that I would do if I was an outside person looking on to love me, how I wanted that to feel. So I put everything down from, I would take myself on adventures in nature, I would go hiking, I would travel. I said I would love my hair and my face, my body. I would love my imperfections. I would love the spots, my skin spots on my face. So I went into so much detail. I said I would be incredibly grateful for what I have. I would feel beautiful, always cherished, loved. And then I wrote affirmations. I am so loved. I would see the love as I looked deep into my eyes. I would see that I was loved. So I went into so much detail about how that made me feel being loved. And then what I did after I wrote all that down, I said that to myself, and I said those affirmations to myself of how I wanted to feel, how I wanted to feel loved, and that ultimate love. And then what I did is I started to do things for myself to make me feel loved. I would go on adventures by myself, even if I didn't have someone to go with. I would take myself out to my favorite restaurants and get the best meal that I wanted. And I would just start doing things that made me feel that ultimate love. So when I did that, it was like a complete shift in my energy and a complete shift in how I was being approached and how I was getting more high quality dates and how I responded to my relationships, because I set standards, I set boundaries. And actually, so what was really, so when I was dating during that time, I met someone who he was a great guy, entrepreneur, just like me, had a really good, entrepreneur spirit. We had a lot in common, but there was just something off, and that really kind of rubbed me the wrong way when we were out one night. So I said something to him like, I've enjoyed dating you, but I really just don't see us, in a future together. I mean, he was already thinking way, way, way ahead. And I'm like, oh, it's only been like 3 weeks. But so I was honest with him and said, no, I don't see a future with us, but I'd, like to stay friends because we've had a great time and all that. And he said, which was really a compliment, he's like, wow. He said, I have never met a woman who is so confident in her standards. And he was like, I respect that so much. And I love that he said that, because I've never heard a man say that to me before, when either, I was breaking it off with them or when I was with them. I was never so confident in my standards at that point in my life than I had been before. And actually, right after I stopped dating him, I met my man, I guess it was like a month later. Yeah, it was actually exactly a month later. And so I just thought that was a huge compliment. A lot of men focus on physical features or whatever it may be, but when you get to that level of dating a high quality person, which I do think he was more of a high quality person, there was just things we didn't mesh with, for him to say that and to respect my decision of breaking it off and being respectful about it and giving that compliment that he's never dated a woman that is confident and has high standards like I do, it was actually, and he was saying it in a very nice way, in a complimentive way. I knew that was the game changer. I knew that was one of my game changers, and I knew I was on the right path to finding my one, and I found him a month later. So I wanted to share that story with you guys because it is so important. You have to find that self-worth so that you can up-level your standards of who you date, so you let go of any toxic patterns, any toxic dating, past dating behaviors. You maybe are not as attracted to the bad boys anymore. You don't attract them in as much, because I would do the same thing. So when we love ourselves fully and we're very confident in knowing who we are, knowing our self-worth in a healthy way. I'm not saying arrogant way, I'm saying in a healthy way. Like, you are loved, you're worthy of dating someone who's amazing, who treats you with respect. Not someone who would cheat on you or, you know, say bad things to you or whatever it may be. You're worthy of that ultimate love. But you have to give yourself that ultimate love first before finding someone to give it to you. That is one of the major keys of manifesting more amazing love into your life. Okay, so I want you to write this down. So get out your journal. We're gonna do a little exercise so that you can practice this and get started. I want you to get on this journey right away, okay? I don't want you just to watch this video and then put it to the side. I want you to get on the journey and do this and do the work and make it happen, okay? You have to take inspired action to manifest the things that you want. Okay, ready? You have your journal out. The first thing you're going to write, if you were looking in as someone else, how would you want them to love you? Right? I'm going to say it again. If you were looking in as someone else, how would you want them to love you? Write that down and then pause the video and then write as much as you can. Write exactly how you would feel and how you would want to feel, how you would want them to love you. Because you have to do it first, okay? Write all that down. And I'm just gonna put a little note in here too. So when you write all this down, let's say you want flowers every week. The thing is, we often set up false expectations, and this is kind of a tangent, but we often set up false expectations on how somebody else should love us without doing that stuff first. So even if your boyfriend does not give you flowers every week, but you want flowers every week, buy them yourself. Go out and buy yourself flowers. Continue to love yourself as you want someone else to love you. Okay, so my boyfriend doesn't buy flowers because it actually reminds him of his parents own a funeral home. So flowers remind him of the funeral home, which is fine. I love flowers, so if I want flowers, like I have stuff out in our garden, if I want flowers, I'll buy them for myself. He has bought me flowers before, but I know it kind of triggers. So whatever it is, do the things that you want to do for yourself. Even if someone else is not doing it, still do it for yourself because you have to love yourself first, okay? All right, so write that down. If you were looking in as someone else, how would you want them to love you? Okay, next question. And just pause the video so you can take your time and really dig deep into it. Okay, how would you date yourself? And then write it out. What would you do to date yourself? Would you take yourself out to eat weekly? Would you take yourself to the movies? Would you take yourself to the theater? What is it your thing? Like, what do you like to do on dates? I want you to write that down. Would you buy yourself flowers? Would you buy yourself chocolate and wine? What would it be? So how would you date yourself? Write all that down. And then pause the video so you can write. Then I'll be right here when you come back. Okay, so you wrote everything down. You're ready to go. So here's the thing. Here's your challenge. This is the challenge for the end of this series. I want you to start loving yourself just like what you wrote down. Start dating yourself just like that. Start loving yourself. Start saying the words that you want to hear to yourself. I'm beautiful. I'm the most amazing person. Whatever it is, how do you want to feel? I want you to do that. So start doing that immediately, every day. Set weekly dates with yourself, and I promise that it will start to shift how you date, who you date, and who's attracted to you. So I have loved being on this 3-day journey with you guys, and I would love to see you in our course, which starts in 8 days. So if you're watching this video actually after the course has already started, just jump on the wait list because we'll open it back up at a later time. But just, you have to jump on. You have to get in this course. This is the meat and potatoes of how to manifest a man or your soulmate into your life with ease, with grace, with fun, with love. My lights just went out because my computer just died. But this is what it takes. So definitely jump on the course. I can't wait to see you guys. I love you guys so much.